This is my project for today. Look at this lovely seascape. This old lifeboat house here, and the headland here. And look at the sky. Look at that lovely stormy sky and the surf here and these rocks. So I want to see what I can do with this. I've got a boat down here in the foreground, and we've got some colour here, some orange boxes and paraphernalia here, but we've got the little red in the wildflowers here, and a little bit on the headland here, the green and the different colours. So I'm going to get on with and do that. You probably can't see very clearly there. I've got the roughly sketched it out, and I'm going to be painting this on a board. I've got a little plywood hardboard, so I'm going to see what I can do with that. Now, where are all my brushes? Been moving them around a bit. So I think I'm going to start in with the nice sky wash. So get a nice big brush. Got this one here, Graduate 8, number 8, sort of flat. Oh, it's looking a little bit worn. Never mind. Let's get some blue going in that sky. Got some ultramarine and some white. I've prepared this board with some acrylic wood primer, actually, just to seal it so the water doesn't get in it over time, the moisture, and warp it. So you don't want to do that really. So just seal it up, 2 coats, let it dry. This has been dry for some months actually, this one. But you can apparently paint within a few days if it's dry enough. It's warm enough. So I've got to keep my horizon straight. Let's make sure we do that. So let's get straight in with some titanium white here. Let's suggest some nice sky pattern. I need to just take some more white in here. Smudge it nicely down on the horizon there. some slightly grayer. So I've got a bit of Payne's grey here. Give me some contrast. I want to make the sky interesting. Some soft edges as well. It's quite stormy looking actually. Trying to make this cloud pattern a bit smaller on the horizon there. Elements of darker blue as well, higher up in the sky. Trying to make some sort of bands or some layers. So I'm standing back a little bit. Can tidy up on that horizon as we go. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of Naples yellow actually in some of these areas here to give me a little bit of yellow in there, a little bit of warmth. Make it a little bit unusual. Right. A bit darker down in there. Soft edges. Right. Right, now I've got to try and get something of the water in. So I've squint my eyes now and I want to see how the tone varies. It's going to be, I think, a little darker than the sky. So I need to mix up something which will read a little bit differently so we can see the horizon there. So I think we need a little bit of spirit here just to take it off the brush, thin it a little bit. So I'm going to put sort of bit of headland coming in here later. So let's right. Let's see, I've got to come down here across. Yes, I think we need a little bit of liquid. So I've got some of these little cups here. A little bit of linseed. Let's get a little bit of linseed on here. Just trying to cut the shape of the landmass, the sea. Just scrubbing it at the moment. Of course, I've got to get these brush strokes horizontal, because the sea is horizontal, of course. It's flat, and that won't read if I've got some odd shaped brush strokes, will it? Right, and then it comes in right up to this area, really. Comes right in here. Right up to this bit of concrete down here where this lighthouse is. Right. I think I'm going to step up a little bit of this white. Actually, I need more contrast. Well, I'm back again, as you can see. I've got the main sea area mapped in, but I've got to get some of this land in, some of this foreshore. I need to get some nice green in there, actually, some sort of almost like a phthalo. So I'm going to go straight ahead and put that in. Just like that. Try and blend it a little bit as well. Get a little bit more blue with it. It's a bluey green colour. Comes right up to the shore there, and it is blends further as we go out to the sea a little bit. But let's leave that for a moment and get straight in for this this headland off to the right here. So let's get some sort of earthy colours in. Some raw sienna perhaps in places. Just to get some sort of blocking in. Bits of green on that headland as well. But it's a little judgment. How dark do we go? I think a little bit darker here, so take some of that Payne's grey and a bit of raw sienna. Try and get some. We've got nice little islands out here too, little rocky outcrops. One there. You can tidy up on their shape actually as we go. But let's just map in my general shape. Here. Fairly thin paint actually, so I can come over with more textured if I need to. Got to put out here, I've got to make it read. And we've got some headland here. And it comes a little bit above the horizon line as well. So let's have a look. Just using a sort of mixture of colours I still have on my palette from the other day. And we've got this sort of grey concreted area here. It's a little on the brown side actually, so we'll grey that up in parts. Just here has to be more grey. A sort of slab of concrete here. This apron. Here we have a wall on there as well, so we can put in a lot more detail as we go. Going to need to define our horizon line a bit darker, I think. It's got to be a clear distinction between the sea and the sky, so that can read. So we're going to have to do that with lots of contrast, of course, and a smaller brush as we go. But let's try and get something this headland here. And I'm just looking carefully here. Got a bit of a rocky outcrop there, so that's a little bit lighter because it's catching the sunlight. But I also want to have some contrasts areas on the tops of the rocks here. It's slightly reddy actually. Let's get a little bit of red and a little sienna. Let's take it down a little bit, sort of a bit purpley. Purple in parts. And a little bit orangey as well, so let's get a bit of cadmium yellow and a little bit of cadmium red and see what we get out of that. Sort of rather pinky colour. I've got to do the boathouse as well. I've got to do that. But let's get this light area here. Cap concrete apron here. We can go over that in a lot of detail. So we put all this boat paraphernalia. There's a nice two little boats here which I want to get in. So I'll just cut around them for the moment, and then we can go back in with a finer brush as we need to. This sort of rocky browny outcrop there. Let's get it a little bit darker. I kind of need some darks in here. We need darks on the edge of this cliff as well. Got to do that. Got to get lots of little contrasting areas, otherwise the rocks will look flat. We need them to look like they've got a bit of solid form to them. Let's get some dark bits in. Just going to mix up different dark tones, really. It's more about the tones than the actual colour, as long as I can get the tones reading. Right. I'll put some white foam around the edge of these rocky outcrops out to sea there. And this can get some sort of yellow in here. Definitely on the yellow side. We've got to put some greens as well. Let's get some viridian there. Just stroking a little bit there. I'll put some wildflowers in here later. Not the moment. I've got to define there's a wall there as well. It's going to come in. And we've got to get the boathouse done as well. But while we're at this, we've got some lighter. Well, here we are, we're getting there. I filled in something of this headland, and I've got the lighthouse, the lifeboat house there. I think I need to put a little bit of colour into the bit of rock that is poking out. A little bit from there. That's right, I think there's some there. And also I'm just noticing now that this, I could get a little bit of more dark in here and in here. Yes, I can see that. And also we've got a little bluey colour, a little shadowy colour. And the light is coming from left to right, and it's casting a shadow there. Like that. Right up here. Cast by that building there. Also we can put a little bit of shadow in here, I think. And where else can I do little bits? I think here. Dirty brush there. That won't do. Gonna put some cerulean in there. Make a nice little mark there. Yes. Has to be a little bit darker on that edge. And perhaps I could darken up on that door of the lighthouse, the lifeboat station. I think my reference shows it much darker. Okay. Now I've got to get this I've got these two little boats. Actually, there's a little bit of brown there. Let's do that. Make it rich colours. Put a bit of green there. Some meridian there. See, I've got to try to dark element of green there. It comes right up to the cliff though. Cliff edge. Right. Let me think. I'll just sit back and review it for a moment. Yeah, let's get right into that boat. Let's find a nice blue. What blue shall I do? Have I got? I've got the cerulean at the moment out. But let's get some linseed on it on my brush, so it's a nice silky constituency. Well, a little bit of liquid actually. Why don't I do that? Liquid. Yes. Right, so let's quick look at my reference. I need to do a good curve in there. I'm leaving that little white bit exposed, and then we've got a much darker bit here on the other boat behind, which we could sort of reddy purpley colour. Something interesting. And then I notice we've got some bright red out here. Quite sure what that was, but this these boats got some interesting shapes in them. Let's just line that up there. And actually we are looking down a little bit, let's remember that. So I need to have we're looking into the boat a little bit, so we could put that shape there. That will suggest something for us. And then we could put some white highlights on it as well. So let's clean my brush off a little bit and get a nice little white going. That will give me just a little bit of mark there. And on this other boat, at the back here, we've got little boards where the rowers sit. And also they've got some orange box as well. On the back here, fish boxes, aren't they? Really? And that's it. It's better now. I need to darken up there to help the line of the boat there. Fill that in. Right. Also, I can see we could do something on the edge of this wall there to help define that edge of that wall. And along here, to help this concrete be defined a little bit, I could darken that out a bit. blend it a little bit there. It'll help our form, help it read a bit better, I think. Now, have I got enough? Should I darken this blue up a little bit? I think I should actually. Let's get some more ultramarine. Or should I get a bit of purpley colour? Actually, I might do a little bit of purple because I can help put in some waveform to try and suggest some of the waves, some of the little colour that we've got. Let's clean off the brush a little bit and get a little bit of that purpley colour with, let's put a bit of blue in it as well. Take it down a little bit with a bit of umber. Oh gosh, that's far too much. Stains really magenta, very much too much there. Right, now let's see if I can put something a bit darker in there. Yes, I think it's get a bit more. That's using some cerulean there. I think I need a bit of ultramarine to step up my blue just a bit. And also I've got a guide which will help me get a nice straight line. I've got a bit of plywood, can you see that? With a bit of an offcut, so a nice straight edge. So I think I can lay that up there, make a bit of a decent colour. Except what do I do now with it? Oh, here it is, yes. Yes, we need a little bit of ultramarine. I think I've gone a little bit mean with that. Right. So let's make up a little mixture with a slight hint of purple in it. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Get that line along there. That's it. Bit of a headland there. Let's bring it down a little bit. That blue. It's a bit better. going to use a bit of white what I've got left on my palette here to just kill off that little bit there. There we are. I think we're getting a much better line now. Got to get a little margin all the time between your sky and your sea. So I think I'm going to see if I can stroke a few lines in like this to try and get some sort of suggestion of the wave shape here. That's a bit better. Yes, we're getting a little bit of colour there. I think we could have a little bit of green as well. Faint. Yeah, the green there. Got a feeling I need to tone that a little bit. Yes, it was just a bit too fierce. So if I blend it out with a little bit of titanium there, that's better. That's a little bit better. I think it's got a, I think I could do a little bit of ochre in it too. It's just a, yes, that's what we need. I can just see a little bit of ochre on my brush. Seems to calm that gradient down. It was just a bit too much. That's better. That's much better. And perhaps a little bit of sienna there. That's it, just a little tickle of yellowy, browny sienna there, I think. And a little bit soften those edges a bit. So I'm just looking at my image through the camera and seeing if it's reading correctly. The way to make water look real, you have to layer it, apparently. Lots of different layers, different colours. Just enough, of course. That's the issue. How much do you do? Got some curved lines here. Let's get some more of that bluey. I think we need a bit more. Yeah. So I'm taking a little bit of my ultramarine now, along with my cerulean. Try and create some suggestion of little waveforms. The wind is catching the ripples and catching a bit of light as well. Yes, not so bad really, it's coming along. Tell that a little bit down there. The concrete platform here. Well, I think I've just about finished on my session on this today. As I said, I may come back and do some tomorrow. Depends. I think it's sometimes good actually. Leave it a day or so, and then you can come back and you can see obvious improvements that you can make. But they escape you when you're doing it for some reason. There we are. Which I could put just a smidgen more of the white there. Anyway, if you like this, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't done it already. And also any comments. I'd be interested if you've got any thoughts on painting generally. Yes, I think I should leave it at that before I overcook it. Thanks for watching.